Hi, this is Dr. Padma Garvey. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make cabbage and tofu stir fry, one of my family's favorite recipes. It's a good way of showing you that tofu is relatively easy to work with, which is important since it's one of the most nutritious foods available. I like to place my tofu in my freezer after I've bought it. This lets the entire block freeze nicely. When I'm ready to cook a dish, I take the frozen tofu out of the freezer and simply place it on my kitchen counter in the morning. That way, when I come home from work in the evening, the block is completely thawed and I can work with it. Another way of doing this is to take your frozen tofu out of the freezer on a particular day and just put it in your refrigerator and let it thaw in your refrigerator. It'll take a couple of days, and that way you can make your dish later on in the week. So the first thing you'll need to do is get some scallions chopped, some green scallions that you chop into small pieces. I generally use about a cup for this dish. You will then need to dice up some cabbage, and today I happen to have green cabbage at home, but there are days when I make this dish with red cabbage, which gives a brilliant color, so that's another option if you would like. And you want to shred the cabbage into strips as shown, and you'll want about 3 to 4 cups. We like our food spicy in our house, so I'm going to slice 3 jalapenos that I harvested from my garden this morning. If you don't like your food spicy, you can certainly leave this out. Next, you'll want to get your garlic and ginger paste ready. So you'll want about 1 inch of ginger, and you want to leave the peel on because that has a lot of flavor. So I chop up the ginger into small pieces, and you want to do the same thing to the garlic. You want to chop them into similar size pieces, and you want about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic here. This garlic-ginger combination is a classic combination in Japanese, Chinese, and Indian cooking. Both garlic and ginger have a lot of health-promoting properties, and they just give an incredible aroma and flavor to dishes. You want to smash the garlic and the ginger pieces into a paste. And what works really well for this is using a mortar and pestle, as shown here. You can order this on Amazon or buy it at most Indian grocery stores. It's really the best way of creating just the right consistency for the garlic and ginger paste that you want. I also had some green beans from my garden, so I'm going to throw that in the stir fry. You can use any vegetables, really. Red bell peppers work really well as well. I'm going to chop some unsalted raw walnuts, about 1/2 cup's worth, into small pieces. Omega-3 fatty acids are found in walnuts, so that's another benefit of using walnuts in your cooking. You'll want some agave nectar, some tamari soy sauce, some plain rice wine vinegar, and some sesame oil. Now, you don't have to freeze your tofu at all. You can just buy the tofu as is from the grocery store, and if it's not frozen, you just open up the packet as shown, and there's going to be some water. You just get rid of the water, and you take out the block of tofu. And you want to try and get some of the water out. And if it's not frozen and you just got it from the store, what you can do is take a clean kitchen towel and you just wrap the block of tofu in this clean kitchen towel and just let it rest for about 30 minutes. Whether you freeze your tofu or not really depends on how firm or how soft you like your pieces. Now, this block was frozen and it had thawed completely, and I took it out of the packet. And when you do the freeze-thaw technique, you can apply gentle pressure to the block of the tofu and really squeeze out all the water inside. So when you do that freeze-thaw technique and you squeeze out all the water, the blocks end up being much drier and firmer, and they will soak up more of your sauté or your marinade or the liquid that you're cooking the tofu in. But as I said, you don't have to do the freeze-thaw technique. You can just take the tofu out of the box, wrap it in a towel, and go from there. Once you've cut the tofu into those pieces, you put it on a baking dish. I like this one because it's got holes in the bottom so that hot air can circulate all around the tofu and crisp up all the sides. And I bake it at 350 for about 30 minutes. Next, I'm going to get my brown rice ready. So I like using a pressure cooker. I think the pressure cooker softens up the rice so well. And I'm putting 2 cups of brown rice with 4 cups of water. That's the appropriate ratio, 1 cup rice, 2 cups water. And I really do encourage you to get a pressure cooker. It's really one of the most useful cooking appliances for plant-based cooking. I'm going to set my pressure cooker for my brown rice to 12 minutes, and that will really produce fantastic results in the rice texture. One of the most important implements in the kitchen is a tablespoon. This really allows you to make sure you're not consuming too much oil. So I'm going to take my wok, heat it on medium heat, and put half a tablespoon of sesame oil into my wok. And once that's heated, I'm going to add my walnuts and give them a stir so that they're coated in the sesame oil. And I'm going to heat them until the walnuts start sizzling and start getting golden brown. Next to that wok, I'm going to add my garlic ginger paste, and I'm going to give that a nice stir and really coat them in the oil as well. And pretty quickly your kitchen is going to just be filled with this amazing aroma, that garlic ginger paste aroma. It's just fantastic. Then I'm going to add my scallions and my jalapenos and get them going and give the mixture a good thorough mixing here, and let that heat up. You can cover it for a couple of minutes to really get that mixture heated through. After a couple of minutes, you're going to add your cabbage and give that a good stir so that all the ingredients get mixed thoroughly. And you'll cover that for several minutes until the cabbage softens. But you don't want your cabbage to get mushy. The stir fry tastes better if the cabbage has some firmness to it. Next, you're going to add about 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce, a 1/4 cup of the vinegar, a 1/2 cup of water, and 2 tablespoons of agave nectar to the stir fry, and you're going to give everything a thorough mixing. The tofu should be out of the oven by now, 30 minutes. It should be crispy. It should be fairly easy to remove from your pan. And you take the wok off of heat at this point. You add your tofu and everything's off of the heat, and you let the tofu sit in the stir-fry mixture, let it soak up all the marinade and the juices so that it captures the flavor. You're ready to eat it with your brown rice. One thing about stir fries is you can really adjust the flavor profile if you like more soy sauce or less soy sauce, or more vinegar or less vinegar. It's really up to you, so you can play around with it. Enjoy!